Hey ladies, so today I'm doing a video on one of the #1 blocks that I'm witnessing in myself and in other female clients that prevents us from truly listening to our intuition. This is the spousal intuitive block, okay? So our intuition is this amazing GPS that we have at our disposal 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's this beautiful self-correcting, self-directing mechanism that's always directing us back on path to truly living our soul's mission and to manifest our dreams into real life, all right? Now, why don't we listen to it on a regular basis? Why are we afraid of our power? Well, in this month, the 8 Universal Month, that is the theme, so that's why I'm sharing this with you today. So what we do as women is I see we position our loved ones in our life as blocks for truly owning our power and being accountable and responsible for our lives. Let me give you a couple examples that you might relate to. Let's say you're at work and you get in a spat with a coworker or a boss. And instead of feeling what you feel and knowing how you want to react in your mind and then responding in kind in that moment and resolving it right then and there, what I see more often is that you might have the tendency to go home and talk to your intuitive block advisor, your spouse, and vent about the situation and get their feedback. Maybe call a couple people, complain and vent and think and analyze more and more and more about it. Because deep down, you don't really trust what you feel, what you believe, and how you want to bring forward your energy into any issue or circumstance in your life. And so this can even come down into deeper forks in the road in our lives. I've had clients who their soul knows what to do. Their soul knows that they need to take job X versus job Y. But when they go to their spousal intuitive block, that person that they consider their advisor, but that is actually turning out to be somebody that even if they're a tremendous, intuitive, profound, deep, philosophical person who knows you better than anybody else in the world, they don't know you as well as you know you. They're not going to be 100% accurate. They're probably not even going to be 50% accurate because they are not your true #1 advisor. You are. So you might go to your spousal intuitive block and they might say to choose job Y when you really know that job X is for you. You might not know consciously why. They might not understand why it is, but your soul says yes, go for that. So these are some of the examples. So why do we do this? Is it that our spouse is crummy? No, it's not. It's that we have gotten into the role as being the supporter, as being the peacemaker, the person behind the scenes. And now we need to step into our lives as the leader, as the woman who is self-assured, confident in all that she does, all that she feels, all that she thinks, and to move forward on that path. It's not to say that you don't get feedback, that you don't have an open-minded nature to interacting and having conversation and sharing with others to get their take on the situation. But it means that you do take a moment to ascertain and figure out what your truth is, regardless of anybody else as a soundboard, regardless of any other advice. So here is what I would love to share with you about what has worked for me and what is working for clients. When you meet a fork in the road, now this might be a huge life decision or it might be just something as small as a little conflict in the day or something that needs to be resolved in terms of like time management, okay, as an example. When you have one of those moments, I want you to just go in a room, shut the door for 5 minutes. And you can do a couple different things. You can just do a basic meditation where you close your eyes and you imagine how you would want the situation to work out, your ideal fantasy version of what it might be. That'll give you your take on what you really want from this circumstance. Another thing that you can do that I have done before is if you're out in the open, maybe you're rushing from client to client or workplace to workplace, to get on your cell phone, excuse me, and pretend that you're talking to somebody. But I want you to talk to yourself. I want you to pretend that you're talking to your intuition and to see what they say back to you. This is really good for those of us as women who don't have those moments in the day to just sit down and have a quiet space. But you can create that conversation and that relationship with your intuitive self, with your inner wisdom, just by doing the the fake cell phone conversation, okay? So do that for 5 minutes before you advise your spouse. Then your spouse no longer becomes your intuitive block. They actually become your intuitive enhancer. Imagine instead of coming to your spouse with the hope that they are going to affirm what you really, really want, that you come to your spouse with a knowing deep down inside of what you want, but with the curiosity to see what their response is going to be, whether there will be support or resistance, and how you might deal with that. An analogy that I like to use here is, you know, if you ever, you can't make a decision, and so maybe one of your friends puts the 2 items behind their back, right? My mom used to do this when we would rent VHS, when we would rent movies. She would put the 2 movies in her hand, put them behind her back. And you know when you choose one and then it comes out and you're like, oh, I wanted the other one. You know what I mean? That's the similar dynamic to this, is that when we show up to our advisor, looking at them to try to, with the hope, with just the hope that by chance they will support the decision that you really want, but if they don't, you'll go the other way. Man, your life is not going to course correct, and you're going to continue to feel like you're off path, and you're going to continue to make decisions that are going to move you in the opposite direction of your dream life and of feeling joyful and truly helping the world become a better place. So when you show up after this 5-minute time to figure out what you want, you're no longer doing a game. You're showing up, knowing, and being curious about how to make more steps forward towards your dreams. I hope all of this made sense. If you have any questions, please comment, rate the video, let me know what you think. I would love to hear it. I'll talk with you guys later.